Hello and welcome to the 21st episode of the Joy Podcast. Today is another new format because I am recording solo. I'm very excited about this. You may have noticed that we started switching formats to introduce more flow and more freedom for us as we record, as we allow life to happen and flow around us and us with it. So, Devin recorded a solo episode the other day, and we have Felicia on as well now. And yeah, so we will get to enjoy this recording in different ways, and we hope you do as well.
Welcome back to another episode of Joy, the Journey of You podcast. We're your hosts, Devin and Chris, and we're here for joy.
This podcast is your permission slip to reconnect to your inherent joy and to embrace it.
Let's fill up the cosmic joy pot together as we dive in to today's episode.
Today's episode is very special because it's about truth. It's about our soul truth. And it's really interesting, the synchronicity, because I just realized afterwards that I just released a while ago, a couple of weeks, I think ago, a YouTube about intuition. And there I also touched on the topic of truth but our egoic truth, which I will go deeper into in a minute. And I will share the link to the video in the show notes if I hope I don't forget. And so you can look into that as well if it's interesting for you. But today I also want to say that as I'm recording, today is what I heard. I'm not an astrologer or anything, like I'm not good with this, but I heard that today is a miracle day because Jupiter, the planet of expansion and abundance, is apparently very close to the sun, and it's in Cancer, which it feels very much at home in. So this is like a big, magnificent energy of abundance and expansion and miracles. So when you listen to this, I set the intention to just capture that energy within this podcast today. So whenever you listen, you will receive the energy of miracles in your life. So that for one. And secondly, what I will share with you today is, as I said, my understanding, my lived experience of truth. And to me, there are actually two types of truth. One is soul truth, which comes from a place of oneness, of connection, of it's like a higher frequency that we can tune into. Whereas the other type of truth is our egoic truth. That is built on our beliefs and our experiences and just the filters that we have. It's like a pair of lenses that we move through life with. And because everybody has a different belief system, everybody has different life experiences. So there are countless facets of personal truth on this egoic level, right? But soul truth, when we're connected and tuned into that, it is always in the highest joy and good of everyone, like of all sentient beings, because when we tune into that level of truth, we're connected to oneness, like we are one. And what is true for one is true for all, if that makes sense. Whereas, and this is like it's very simple. When we tune into that, you will know it's very simple, it's very calm, it's very straightforward. Whereas when we are connected to our egoic truth, we act on that, it is from a place of separation very often, and from our limiting beliefs and our core wounds. And when we act on that truth, we often trigger those core wounds in others as well. And that's where things get complicated and muddy, and there's lots of explanations, and you have to kind of justify why you do this, why you don't want to do this, and all that. Whereas when you're tuned into your soul truth, it's just simple. Like, I'm getting a yes, I'm getting a no. simple as that. You don't have to explain anything. And I like this makes life so simple that if you were to take just one thing away from this whole podcast, from everything together, like this is it. And I love that both Devin and Felicia will also do another episode on exactly this topic, showing their aspects and their um how they tune into this as well, because they may have a different way. And I love that you will get different aspects of this. And yeah, because we use this a lot in our co-working, and it just makes life so simple. So, for example, if we don't feel good before we meet up to the for the recording, and our egos are like, oh, you don't feel good, and there's so many reasons why you shouldn't be doing this today. You shouldn't be recording. It's not the right situation. You're not bringing the right energy. You're not bringing, like, you don't have the mental capacity, whatever. There's tons of reasons that our egos come up with to prevent us from showing up in our truth, from showing our greatness, from, expanding, because our egos want us to stay safe, right? And small. So there's a lot of arguments that it will bring up in order to keep us small. And when we tune into our soul truth, however, in that situation where we might be having a stomach ache, or we had episodes in the past where, like, I was super sad. It came on, I was so sad. And I was like, I don't know how I can talk about joy today. I really don't know. And but we tuned in, and it was our soul truth to record. And what came through was to record about Devin's book, Good Grief. Like, wow, I had not, like, in my egoic perspective, I couldn't have come up with that. It was so genius, and it was so fitting and so aligned. And yeah, you can go back to the episode and listen, but um it was just really true. And likewise, when our egos say, like, we don't have enough episodes stored up, we need to record today, like, and there's this should pressure, which is a dead giveaway that it's like an egoic truth. Um, then yeah, when we then tune into our soul truth, and we get, no, it's not time to record today, then we don't record. Then we see if there's anything else that we want to tune into, that we want to share, move through, process, whatever. Or maybe there's something else that really wants our energy. And so we focus on that instead. And we know that if it's our soul truth to not record, then there will be space for it to flow at a different time. Something else will come up, something magical will appear. I don't know, like, something happens that our minds cannot conceive. And therefore, we always, like, I really rarely use the words always and never, but when it comes to soul truth, I always follow that, because it comes from a place of knowing that is far beyond our little minds, and far beyond the perception of um, the limitations we live in and that our minds come up with. So, yeah. And I use it for anything in life, not just this podcast. And when I work with people who also work with Soul Truth, and I use it to sense into whether or not the client is aligned with me, whether or not, like, I am meant to work with them, if I can truly help them and support them on their path or not. Because sometimes it can feel like, wow, this is awesome, but actually it's not. And sometimes it can feel like, oh my God, this is terrible, but yet it's awesome. And our soul knows, no matter what our egos come up with, right? And I use it also especially when the calendar is very packed and I have many Zoom calls. I tune into, like, is it true for me to join this call or not? And I will simply say, I'm sorry, it's not true for me to join this call. And because I know it's for the highest good of everybody. If I'm not there, there is no resistance against saying that. And I also often use it when I receive an offer or there is a program, and I tune into whether it's a shiny object, because a shiny object is when our egos want to use something to cover up one of our core wounds, right? When we want to feel less unworthy or good enough or all these things, right? So our egos will say, yes, you need this, you need this. But our soul knows, like, is this truly meant for me? Do I need this to evolve further on my path? Is this going to be a relevant piece for my evolution? Yes or no? Right? And will I actually pull through with it? Yes or no? And I also use it with my kids, whether or not, like when they don't feel on top of things and say they can't go to school, I use it to see if it's really true for them to stay at home or not. And also, like, if they plan a trip for the weekend and I'm not sure with about the people they're going with, or who's driving and all these things, I tune in. And when I get a soul yes, a true calm soul yes, then I know it's good. Like, they're good. They could do whatever they want to, they're good. And yeah, so I really want to share this process with you today. Um, so you can use it in your life in whichever way. And I would love for you to start out with something trivial, not like when I lead you through this, I will lead you through exactly what to tune into, but in general, later on, it's good to try it with something small. Like in the beginning, I tuned into things like whether the weather was good enough for me to hang out the laundry outside or not. Even if it looked cloudy and it could start to rain, I knew that if I got the soul yes, I can hang the laundry up outside. It would be dry and fine before it starts to rain. And it was true every single time. So it's just fun. So you can really play with it and experiment with it and enjoy it. And yeah, so we shall get started. I want to lead you through a somatic experience today that will help you differentiate between that soul truth and that egoic truth. And it's a practice that I learned from Linda and Craig from True North Alignment Coaching in a magnificent challenge that they ran, I think 2 times already. I hope they will do it again. I would totally advise for you to join in there, and I will share the link once it's out. And yeah, like I said, it just changed my life. Since I've been using this, life has become so much less complicated for me. And yeah, let's get started. So I invite you to set the intention to receive the full benefit of this meditation and to stay awake and aware throughout, and to stop the car if you're driving and you want to experience it right now nonetheless. Otherwise, just return to it at a later time when you're not driving and you can close your eyes and really sense into your body. So I invite you to just use your breath to arrive in the here and now. And to sense into your cells. Maybe you can feel your body vibrating. And I just would love for you to go to a cellular level. Whether you know what cells look like or not doesn't really matter. Just imagine, you could imagine what they look like. And just notice how calm they are at the moment, and how every little cell is just going about their job, doing their thing. observe this magnificence that is your body. Like, I never cease to be in awe of the miracle we live in. And now, from this place of awe and wonder, I invite you to tune into something, to imagine something that you would love to experience, to do, to be, to have, just something your heart would love out of the pure joy of it, not because it solves any problems or because it makes your life easier, but just because it would be super, super joyful. And imagine that you are fully supported in this. Imagine you have all the resources necessary. Imagine you have the money, have the time. There's people here to support you. They come from really unexpected, surprising places, and you just get to experience what your heart will love. Maybe it's something you want to create. And imagine it's already done. You're already living this. Now go back into your cells and notice where in your body there are cells that are lighting up. Notice how they are like extra energized. Maybe they will start vibrating more. Maybe they will start glowing and sparkling. Whatever it is, just tune in and become aware. And also allow it to be anywhere in your body. It can be your pinky finger just as much as it can be your heart. For me, it's the left side of my tongue. Wherever it is, let that be it. And observe, become really acutely aware, and let this imagined experience energize these cells even more so you can become even more aware of them. Let it be like in a gas station, fueling up. And once they're fully energized, observe them. What shape do they have? What color? And know that these are magical cells. They don't need to stick to any rules or physical laws or anything. Like, they are beyond this reality. They are magical. They can do anything. They can hop around. They can bounce. They can fly. Once they are loaded up with your imagined vision, your experience, they start evolving. And just notice what happens. Maybe they even have a scent. And imagine if you would touch them, what would they feel like? Maybe they have a texture. And as you're fully tuned into this, I invite you to anchor your memory of these cells. Anchor that somatic experience. Anchor what it viscerally feels like for you. And what do these cells look like, feel like, smell like, maybe even taste like? Anchor that deeply into your system. And once you have done that, I invite you to take a deep breath. And with the out breath, just let go. And let these cells return to neutral. Let the energy not dissolve, but kind of distribute evenly throughout the rest of your body. And let everything return to its normal, neutral state. And return to your calmness. And once you're there, I invite you to tune into something that you feel you really should be doing. Maybe it's a step towards your big vision that feels really tight and difficult. Maybe it's something that you've just been avoiding to do and you feel that should pressure on you. And just really tune into that and allow this experience to have some space within your system. Allow it to voice its questions, its whys and hows and whens and all that victim energy it might awaken within you. Maybe even a sense of helplessness. I'm getting that. And that feeling of, where do I even start? I don't even know where to start. Maybe you feel that overwhelm as well. And notice how this now activates cells in your body as well. And these will be different cells. And notice what they look like. What do they feel like when they're activated? How do they evolve and change through this activation? Maybe they have a taste as well. And if you would touch them, what would they feel like? And also notice what happens with your whole system. Like for me, it feels very contracted, very stiff, very restricted and boxed in. And I feel this is enough of that. So anchor this knowledge, this awareness into your visceral experience as well, into your visceral memory, and know that these cells will light up when something is not true for you, when it's your ego that is alive, when it's your fears, your worries, when it's your untruth. And with this anchored in as well now, you can let go and just take a deep breath, and with your exhale, let go of that energy. Let that dissolve and distribute. I know it's simply energy. It's not good or bad. It's simply energy and can be used in any which way. It's simply energy. Allow it to distribute and energize the rest of your body again. And return to a state of calm. And once this has happened, I invite you to choose something that you would love to know your soul truth about. Maybe it is a program you feel like you want to sign up to. Maybe it is whether you should go out to meet some friends tonight, or whenever, whatever it is, just ask this to your system and ask for your soul truth to show up. Is it a yes or is it a no? And maybe you will also receive a visual. Like for me, I always get like a big green yes with an exclamation mark when it's a yes. And I get a big no. And the funny thing is, the yes always comes in a serif, and the no comes like in a bold Arial font. And yeah, maybe you have something like that as well. And maybe you also feel your whole system expand or contract when you ask that question. But whatever it is, I love how Linda described it when she taught this to us. She said that it's like flipping a coin, and no matter which side lands top up, you always win. So no matter whether you choose heads or tails, you always win. And yeah, so whatever comes out as your truth, you win. No matter what it feels like to your ego, if it feels like scary or too big or too small or whatever comes out, it is your truth. And I invite you to act on that, because that will open up things that you could not have dreamed of. And yeah, now you get to open your eyes again. And um, I would love to know what came through for you. And I invite you, as always, to play with this and to, like I said before, use it for simple things. And also, don't overuse it. I did that in the beginning because I was so excited about this technique. I used it like 10 things in just a couple of minutes. And like my so I feel my truth like a yes is on the left side of my tongue and a no is on the right side of my tongue, and my whole system feels constricted with a no and expanded with a yes. And like my whole system, it could not adapt as quickly as I was asking, and it feels like it gets tired if you overuse it. So yeah, also lottery doesn't work. And yeah, so just give yourself breaks, try it out, let me know how it landed. I would love to hear. And yes, this is a capsule of magic. So magical energy, and I'm sending this from my heart to yours. And I hope to see you on the next episode. And yes, I hope you loved it as much as I did. Take care. Bye bye.